Okay, let's take a look at the Unit 2 essay exam assignment here for this week. Following on the heels of another great unit we've had, looking at themes such as ethnicity, politics, religion, we get a chance here to demonstrate our understanding, both at your own pace, in your own space, what we feel is a very fair way of assessing your understanding. If this seems arduous or challenging, please know that it's within our best interest of providing you an opportunity to have an assessment, an exam such as this essay exam, in contrast to a multiple choice test where you're essentially being set up to try to get questions wrong, to trick you. So I very strongly believe in having a fair assessment for students, and this exam provides that opportunity and that intention for you. You'll see here I've put the guidelines up top above the questions as a reminder. They're also in the syllabus, but they're here as a reminder of the importance of reading these through numerous times, and especially before and after submitting your outlines and your exams. So the standards to be typed, double space, size 12 Times New Roman font, and then this really important point of using the grading criteria from the syllabus. And I've put that down below these prompts that we'll see here in a little bit yet again. And it's a really great idea to read the grading criteria and assess yourself against it. Reading it before you compile your outlines, and then your essay, reading it before you write the essay, and then reading it after you write your essay, and assessing yourself according to it, so you can help uncover what deficiencies or strong points that you have in your essay, and how you could improve and move those strong points into other areas in the grading criteria as well. So it's required to refer to graphics, so you don't have to copy and paste. This just uses up a lot of space in your documents. If you really want to copy and paste, that's fine. Please keep in mind proper citations. But it's very much required to refer to maps and images, charts, tables, to illustrate the points that you're making. The old adage that a picture's worth 1,000 words really applies here, that it certainly helps demonstrate your points and your reasoning to provide images within your paper, references to them. The breakdown should be approximately the 1/3 from the text, the course discussions, and your interpretation and analysis. So that means the citations of the text or the course discussion, or for instance the other materials such as the films we've watched, the one main film, The Iron Wall, or my mini lectures, or also course discussion pertaining to other students' posts. And really, if you quote somebody, you only need one sentence from their post. Please ask you to avoid long quotations within your paper. Direct quotations within academic papers are reserved for very poignant, very specific, and important quotations. Next, you'll see that my approval is required for use of additional sources. This is to prevent students from using outlandish media sources. But if you view something already in the course and that hasn't raised a flag, feel free to use that. And here I just give you some recommendations on practicing learned resourcefulness. And then also the starred point here, be sure to include a clear and strong thesis in your short introduction and at least 10 key terms from the chapters. So there's been over 3 chapters in this unit, and as well as a peer-reviewed journal article And so there shouldn't be any lack of key terms that we've studied, as well as supportive statistics and specific place examples. I keep emphasizing to you. You'll notice that I provide those in the examples that I give, both in the mini lectures and in responses to you in your post. And it's a wonderful way of demonstrating your understanding and adding credibility and strength to the claims that you're making. So here we have the prompts. You'll see them roughly corresponding to the 3 chapters we've looked at. And for this essay exam, remember that we're just choosing one of the 3 prompts. You've by now written your outlines on all 3 of them, demonstrating your understanding of the breadth of the material. And after that, now we're really honing in to be able to practice our skills and tools of critical analysis within the context of one particular topic here. So that's why we choose from one of the themes, and you'll see some similarities between them as far as using geography's 5 themes comes up in each one of them. Directions such as the most significant times and places, or most significant consequences. So this is a directive or the part of the prompt that has you really focus on what you find best exemplifies the points that you're trying to make, and shows how and what you've pulled from the material that we've been looking at. You'll notice in each one of them the emphasis on at least 3 specific examples. So roughly you'll have about 3 main points in your papers, and the key part here is at least 3. In number 1, it's specific examples from around the world of your new understanding and ethnicity. Number 2, it's at least 3 of the most significant times and places to demonstrate how language is one of the most essential pieces of the mosaic of culture. Or number 3, at least 3 of the above consequences which best demonstrate geographies of conflict and harmony. So this is another guideline or a way of helping you to structure your paper, and so keep that in mind. And just on that final note there, geographies of conflict and harmony, the peer-reviewed paper on Tibet, religions in Tibet, highlights some of those themes that we've looked at around geographies of conflict. And the harmony refers to, you probably are familiar with the term harmony from music. And as we've seen in the chapters, and I introduced in the mini lecture to remind you, harmony here referring to just the opposite of conflict, how there can be harmonious relations, how there can be mutually beneficial relations between all sorts of different stakeholders and different political players, political scales of politics, whether that be at the international level or down to even between ethnicities, as in the case of some parts of China that we've looked at, or the examples that I provided to students post in the Israel-Palestine week, looking at how there is a lot of conflict there, but there are also cases of harmony within that as well. People from both ethnicities standing together for a common goal of peace. And so moving down here for the grading criteria, to remind you to read this before writing your paper and assessing yourself afterwards. Very important to have the thought-provoking thesis. Evidence here is number 2, specific examples supporting your conclusions. This includes place-specific examples. Again, organization, looking at a focused thesis, coherent progression of ideas, and insightful conclusion. The focused paragraph with topic sentences is a very important way of marking the transitions between your main points. And presentation techniques, here we get into the maps, charts, tables that are referred to above, and making sure that you have proper spelling and grammar, verb usage. These really help the reader, myself, to flow smoothly through your papers. And lastly, the citations, the textbook and other academic resources, the peer-reviewed journal, for instance, students post, making sure that you cite them, that you include an in-text citation in the proper MLA or APA format. And that will help cut down on the amount of space in your paper if you do that correctly, and add to the scholarship of your paper, the professionalism, if you will. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to reading your papers. You'll do great. Take care.